Alright, and we are live like this. Boom. Hello everyone. Though I'm aware I am alone at the moment, that's okay. I just wanted to get back into streaming, making content, and so forth again. It's been a long while. Let's just check to make sure. No, I can't tell. I think the music's being... Yeah, the music should be coming through and stuff. I'm not expecting this to be super bustling. In general, I'm not sure how much I'll get back an audience, but that's okay. That's not the point. And that's not me trying to be defeatist. I just want to make content again. And I still want to do my skits. It's hard for me to consistently do those. I feel like this has just been an issue where I was bouncing back and forth for a while. But I figured something. Like, if I'm just streaming games that I normally play, it's like, whatever. It's what I would be doing anyways. So I can, do double duty. And with that, I'm going to mostly focus on RPGs, like Pillars of Eternity here. So Pillars of Eternity is old at this point. Well, 2015. So I'd say, yeah, that's a bit oldish. But definitely not one of the older games I play. I'm a 90s kid, so I play stuff from the 90s frequently. I do like stuff like that. But this is Obsidian. So back when Pillars of Eternity came out, it was kickstarted, so it was crowdfunded, and they just wanted to make something like Baldur's Gate. They wanted to return to form, go back to their roots, and it was a success, and it's a great game. Since that, they've made a sequel, and to be honest, it's hard to go back to the original, not because the original wasn't good, but the sequel takes the foundation of this game and just improved it so much that it's hard for me to go back. But I'm going back here so we get like the whole story and all of that.
Five wagons grope blindly for the path on a starless night, their master glancing ever upward to the skies for assurance that he is on the right course. A dim lantern his only protection against the encroaching darkness. But the skies bring no comfort, shining no light, betraying no hint of what they know.
Excuse me.
The caravan carries travelers bound for the frontier hamlet of Gilded Vale, you among them, where a local lord has offered land and wealth to settlers from abroad looking for a fresh start. You have taken suddenly ill, sweating and shivering, and one of the other travelers signals for the caravan master to stop on your behalf. He pulls up just in time to avoid plowing into the trunk of a fallen tree that bars the way ahead. You will go no further tonight.
So, what was I going to say? It's just that Pillars of Eternity 2 takes this foundation and just improves upon it. And it's so good that it's hard for me to go back to this original one. Even though this original, pretty good. Pretty solid game. So that's saying something. But yeah, we're doing this so we get the full story. I want to be a male. I thought a little bit of what I'd like to play for a character and haven't decided. I'm going to have to poke around this menu for a moment. But I'll just go over this stuff. So you have your humans. You have the Amawa. Amawa. Yeah. So these are giant people. It says here largest of the Kith. So Kith is just what they call humanoid, the player races, whatever, etc. So they're from an island. There's like coastal and island ones. They're sea folk. It's a weird way of wording it, but yeah, very like ocean oriented. And my first character was an Almawa. Almawa. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. I built it after my first D&D character, like pen and paper D&D character, which was a Goliath named Kavai. So I have an Almawa named Kavai. That said, probably won't recreate Kavai because I already have Kavai. You have your dwarves, you have your elves, the Orlans, which is replacing halflings and the like. Orlans, smallest, and they're animal people too. And yeah, so there's two variants, which is like the more wild and the more not, I don't want to say civilized, but there's the like ones that grew up in the wilds and those that grew up more like in towns and stuff like that. And they're like good thieves and so forth. And the godlikes, which are a really interesting race. There's a few different like aspects of godlikes. They're pretty much people born with unusual properties. They're like your tieflings / your Azamars, or like your demon folk and your angel folk. So basically you have a few different variants. Like you have nature, you have death, you have fire, and there's moon. And it's like based on different, cosmic qualities. And this one right here is a death one. As you can see, it's just kind of like voidless, very featureless. It's got like horns. It's probably one of the most reviled godlikes. They are pretty powerful, though they do have a disadvantage of not being able to wear hats. But like the moon godlike, which I'll show you guys real quick. Boom. The moon godlike has an ability that if you get reduced to 75%, 50%, and 25% health, so there's health and endurance. So endurance is your practical health. It's what, if you're reduced to 0 endurance, you're knocked out. Your health is your total amount of damage that you can take, which is a weird way of putting it. That's in most games. Essentially, when you get into a fight, you have your endurance. Say like your endurance is 40. If you get like hurt 40 points, you get knocked out. But you recover endurance from your health pool. So your health pool is much larger, but it's used to recover your endurance. And it recovers your endurance in between battles. But the caveat is, like, it's this pool that's being drawn upon, so it's finite. So that means that unless you like rest or something to get your health back, which is one of the only ways you can get your health back, eventually it'll run out and your character will die. Like, say if your health is lower than your endurance won't go all the way back up to full. It'll be whatever your health is. And that's a very dangerous situation to be, because now if you get reduced to 0, you're dead, not just knocked out. So the Moonlake have a quality that when they're reduced to pretty much a quarter each time, they will heal their allies. Just the endurance though, not their health. So that can actually mess you up. If you're in a fight and you're near the end of your health, but not quite there, but then you rejuvenate your endurance and now you've lost all your health. Well, not lost. Excuse me. It's a weird way of wording it. But pretty much now, it's like you restore your endurance and now your health pool is at 0. So if you get like killed, you're dead. But there's other ones like the nature, which They just get tougher when they're at 50%. It's a little bit different in the second game. They get like bonuses to nature magic. The fire godlike is awesome. And basically, when reduced to half health, they have damage reduction, and they do fire damage to anyone near them. It's pretty cool. The death godlike, just if they hit an enemy near death, they do much more damage. So this is a race that I'm thinking of being. I'm leaning towards godlike, and why I brought it up, what makes them interesting, I hate this. I hate, like, I'm not yawning at all. As soon as I go to stream, as soon as I go to record, even after all this time, I start yawning. But the godlike is sort of the race I'm leaning towards. So what makes them interesting is that they don't have like a base body shape. You choose one of the other races to be like your body shape. And essentially, they're like half that race and whatever. But really, it's the godlike are children of the Kith, who have been blessed with physical aspects associated with gods, though some do not consider it a blessing. So that is what a godlike is. A moon godlike could be fun, but so kind of fire. I haven't really done fire or nature. I do like nature-oriented characters in general. The fire is kind of cool because you look like a demon. So is the nature. You just look like this weird animal, plant, human hybrid. I think I will go with human as my base. Yeah, not to be basic. But now we get to choose a class. You have your sort of like usual ones, like a barbarian, fighter, druid. But then you have two unusual ones. You have a cipher, which a cipher is like a psionic class, but what they do is they attack enemies with like this mind whip to leech off points that they use to cast spells. So they're pretty cool because they're like more of an endurance caster, because casters in this game you have limited spells per day, so you need to rest in order to get your spells back. Ciphers can keep on going, they just need to build up their points in a fight. Similar to the Chanter is a bit like a cleric priest, but how they function is they are singing a song, which they're doing constantly, sort of like bardic inspiration. This song has different phrases that you as the player create, and the phrases do different things. And there's no limit to how many phrases you can string together in a song, but there is sometimes a benefit to having songs with less phrases, because then those bonuses will apply more frequently. So for example, you can have a phrase that ups your attack speed, or a phrase that ups your defense, a phrase that heals your endurance, etc. You could have all three of those together, but that means like essentially 1/3 of the time that your song's going. I mean, it's always going, but it's like, say, it changes every 3 seconds. So it's like every 3 seconds you're getting one of those three. So it's going to take you like 6 seconds to go back to the first phrase, because, well, you do the first phrase, last 3 seconds, and then it's the other two phrases, so those are 6 seconds to get back. And I don't know the exact times. I actually think it's worse than that. But it's say if you just want like the attack buff, then you could just have that one phrase, and it's just going to keep on repeating. So you always have that attack buff. They're a really interesting class. I have a barbarian. Again, my main character, Kavai, was inspired by my first D&D character, which was a warden, because it was 4th edition. A warden is essentially a paladin, a druid paladin. And it's not a class that has been in other D&D systems. It's also not a class in this game. In this game, the closest was a barbarian, so I made a barbarian. Though that said, funny enough, in the second game, you can't be a warden, because you get to multi-class. And literally, the fighter druid multi-class is called a warden. So I made Kavai again in that, and he's a warden. It's very fitting. But, I don't know, like, this class gets like a bonus to all their stats when they're at 50%. So, which stats do they actually get bonuses to? Dexterity and intellect. So they can be like sort of a dexterous or finesse character or like a wizard. And this one gets a bonus to might, constitution, dexterity, so the physical stats when at 50%. So sort of like more a physical oriented character. Like I could be a ranger. That could be fun. The Cypher's not bad. I love the Cypher in the second game as a multi-class character because their Psychic Lash instead gets tuned to their weapons. So any martial class benefits because, one, you get casting potential, but now all your attacks do more damage just because you're a Cypher. It's really nice. I actually have a Cypher Paladin who just decimates the battlefield. But I think I'll go Ranger, maybe. I mean, a Druid could be fun. You get to shapeshift, but you only get one, like, form. I was thinking also potentially Paladin, which, again, Paladin would... A nature godlike would benefit a Paladin. A Ranger could be fun too. It's funny because in Grog Quest I'm a Ranger, so I know my friends sort of associate me with that. My favorite classes are those that have a lot of different builds you can do. Oh, warriors or casters. I don't dislike rogues. I just don't play them as much usually. Depends on the game, really. It's just like whatever class I'm feeling in that particular game. But the ones that I tend to pick are like Druid is definitely up there for me. It's one of my favorites. Paladin, also one of my favorites because, again, you get to build them in various different ways. And then you have, like, Rangers are fun too. I mean, honestly, it is one of the higher ones. And Nature Godlike Ranger. I haven't really done the Ranger much. Or Druid. I'm kind of feeling the Ranger. You know, screw it. Reference to God Quest. And I have to choose my starting ability, which I get to choose either Wounding Shot, 2 per counter, Marked Prey, once per counter. But it makes it so I just do bonus damage for 30 seconds, as opposed to Wounded Shot, which hobbles them, so it gives me some crowd control. March Prey. I'll give that a shot. I mean, the crowd control is nice, honestly. But just making me, like, damage oriented will be cool. I have to choose my companion. The wolf is the strongest one, I think. But, yeah. They do high damage and avoid disengagement attacks. Antelope has superior defenses. The bear has superior armor. Unless they change that. Yeah. Damage reduction. Boar Companion does more damage when they're at low health, which is okay. Lions can terrify, so you get some crowd control. And stags have a melee attack that hurts everything around. So they are essentially mini barbarians, because the barbarian's main feature in this game is that their attacks hurt enemies around them. Carnage. So stag is just that, which is interesting. It would be interesting to have a deer with this character, to be honest. Bears are always nice. Having a tanky pet isn't bad. Though, depends on the system and the game, of course. Because you don't want your tanky pet to draw aggro from your actual tank. Except, and off occasions. Like in a game like this, it would be fine if you need to take some heat off your main tank to heal them. Have the bear do some off-tanking. Antelope would be interesting too because of how my character looks. Wolves are always a nice one, like thematically. I don't know what to go with. I think I kind of want to go with stag with this character. Just like thematically speaking, I think it really suits like his horns and stuff. And like sort of like the divine deer. Yeah, we'll do that. What will my animal companion's name be? Oh, I don't know. I can't think of something. Usually in this predicament, I would look it up. Names. Kiowa. I don't know why I picked Kiowa. Just struck me at the moment. Perception is something I want to have the highest. Increases my accuracy and stuff, so I get that. I can get it to an 18. Not sure if I want it at 18. There's not much else that I can do. What does Mike do? Oh, increases my damage. I think a 15 would be good. What did it start at? What? Kiowa. Let's see. It says a 10. Okay. What does intellect do? Oh, area of effect, duration, and will. I don't need that to be as high, though. We'll rock at 13. Sounds good to me. I know Constitution isn't as important. Might I want kind of high, because again that's my damage stat. Might want both of them at 15. And I'll put that at 14. What's resolve to? Concentration, deflection, or will. So it's defense stuff, which is important. Take a point off that though. Maybe a point off the intellect. To add a point to Constitution, up my health. And up my perception. Make it sound more accurate and so forth. Alright. Now I have to choose where I'm from. The Aidir Empire is the largest in this part of the world. There's the Deadfire Arpeggio. But they give different... Like, this would up my resolve and make it so that, like, I have no weaknesses. Ups my intellect. Gives me a crossbow. Constitution. Living lands. Which ups my might, which is good. The white that wins ups my perception. I think the living lands makes sense for a nature one. Gives me might, which is also nice because, again, damage and so forth. Yeah, I'll do that. Now I'm picking my background, which gives me bonuses. I mean, the ones that are like very ranger oriented are the colonist, the hunter, and the mercenary would work. The colonist and hunter definitely. Laborer. No, I'm an explorer. I'm going to go with hunter. Yeah. Hunting in the wildlands. This portrait makes no sense for my character. Kind of like that. I wouldn't rock that head though. Kind of wish there was a blank portrait. There's a lot of portraits. I have a free DLC that adds more. I don't understand though why they didn't make portraits that match the face. That is like, okay, I get limited selection, but have stuff that matches what I can actually do. Some of them, admittedly, are from the second game, so... What are this one? Sort of the closest I can get.
Hey there. Watch and learn.
A blade in the dark.
I'm flattered.
Yeah!
Huh? Follow me.
Let's go!
Quickly and quietly.
I'll lead the way. Yeah!
They'll never know I'm here.
I like smooth. And the name? I think we all know what the name's going to be. Toasty the Nature Ranger. Let's go.
Everybody stays close to the wagons, got it? Stay out of the woods, and beasts take you if you are planning a stroll through those ruins up there.
He nods toward a looming black mass on the hillside.
Whole area's crawling with hut-dwelling types who'd be happy to stick an axe in you for trespassing. So mind that you don't track mud on their sacred blazing rocks. Tonight, everybody stays put, and in the morning we'll get the path cleared. Gilded Vale's less than a day out. Understood?
At last, the caravan master turns to you, frowning as he looks you over.
Touch of the rumbling rot, could be. There's a stinging beetle round here, carries it. You'll be fine once it passes your innards. Unless you don't drink water, of course. In which case you'll be dead in a day.
Oof. Rumbling rot? Ah, that's the hell of a name for diarrhea.
There's a berry grows in these parts, small and pink, called a springberry. About the size of a fingernail. Give you cramps if you eat it, but the frontiersmen make a tea from it. Calms the insides. Should get you through the night. You might check around, see if you can find some. Meanwhile, I'll see if we can scare you up some water. I know you want to hunt before it gets much darker, but see about refilling our water first. Got a sick one here.
Autumn looks over his shoulder at his assistant, a lanky, intense man named Sparfell, carries an old sun-bleached bow. He nods in your direction. Sparfell nods and slides the warm bow over his shoulder. So yeah, I'm sick. I forgot that.
Nothing you won't see on half the hills of Air Glonfoth. Money to be made selling their knickknacks in Defiance Bay, if you don't mind getting stuck with Glonfoth and arrows now and again. They didn't build them, but I'll be the effigy if they don't watch them like a mother bear. Of course, all the ones around here have been ransacked 10 times over. Got nothing left worth half a pond, so I hear.
The character's attributes, skills, class, race, culture, and sex may open up options for you in dialogue. These options are not necessarily superior to the other responses, but give you a wider variety of choices to select from. The manner in which someone responds to your choice depends on their individual personality.
They grow on a bush that's common round here, kind of funny looking. You'll know it when you see it. Doubt you'd have to go far off the road to find one. Got different names for them. Settlers called them Ingwithans. Nobody that liked them enough to stop them becoming ruins, tell you that much. Not if you hurry about your business, and not if the weather holds up.
Ooh. There's a concern in his tone, but he does not elaborate.
This time of year, rain mostly, and wind. But there's a different kind of wind out here time to time. Locals call it a beowick, born out of the ether, the spirit's path. Never seen it myself, never cared to.
Okay.
They don't got Adra where you come from? Well, it just grows up out of the ground like this. Goes deep like tree roots. Some of it all the way to the heart of the world, you believe the stories. It's more like a shell than a proper rock. Easier to work if you're a mason. Got all kinds of strange properties. Seems to have some kind of life of its own. Dies if it gets dug up. Loses its luster. Folks think it probably grew at one point or another, but not these days.
Alright. That's weird, but interesting.
The soul butchers in Defiance Bay use it for different things. I've heard tell it can hold a man's soul, but I don't care to see it. Got enough to worry about without seeing something like that.
Alright,
Hold
we'll
on.
get the berries.
Take someone with you. I know you're not some helpless tenderfoot, not like most of this lot. If you drop dead, I don't want to be looking for the body. Got a schedule to keep.
Well then, but also, I am sick. It's like, you're sick, you're not feeling well. Go out there, explore the world, kid. You got this. Scans over the travelers, resting his eyes at length on a sturdy armor-clad woman who spent the journey's length sleeping on uneven ground without a blanket or pillow.
Kalisha. Kalisha!
The woman looks up at her own
He
time.
needs to find some spring berries. Watch that he doesn't drop dead.
No promises.
Wow.
What kind of guide says something like that?
Kind you can afford.
Don't listen to her. You're in good hands. And I pay too well, if anything.
Automa chuckles and shakes his head. He looks at you. And then he casts a sidelong glance at her.
Off with you. Hayden should have supplies. See that you're equipped before you head out. We're in harsh country. Get your berries and hurry back. And if you get so much as a tickle of wind, you drop everything and you run. Something in the air tonight. If it's a Beawick, shelter in the ruins. Hut dwellers be dead.
I know this stuff. Oh, excuse me. I have a deer. Look at this deer. It is cool actually having
What you
a
need?
deer. It's a bit weird. And the sound it makes is so terrifying. Saving Toasty. Saving Private Toasty. Alright. And let's see. We'll go to game options. Oh, excuse me. Making it a bit easier on myself. I know what to. Oh.
Hey there.
I was hoping to set it up so I
Sure.
could see options even if they're not. I couldn't currently select them, but apparently that's the second game.
Anyone need supplies? I've got sundries for sale.
Who are you, Hyoden? You see a man wearing simple but mostly neat clothes. He's transfixed, however, by a ragged tear in the seam of his tunic. I'm not sure if I'll read all the dialogue. It just seems to be oddly paced with the wording. So I think from here on out, I'll just let people read it. And I'll read it and give it a second afterwards to give people time.
Brought a whole wagon full of goods to sell, but not enough shirts for the road. Say, is there anything you need? I've got some basic traveling supplies for sale if you'd like to take a look. I'm a trader, originally from the Adir Empire, but I've been trying to establish new business out here. Life on the road has brought some unexpected challenges, to be sure. And I'm sure you've noticed how prickly the locals can be. But we're here to make the most of things, right?
Yes. I should click. I hit the number key to be quicker, but then you guys didn't see what I chose. I chose, who are you? So I guess I can just hit the number keys and say what I'm going to say. I get to choose my personality. It's important for paladins because paladins have oaths which focus on one and disallow another personality. So like there's a oath where it's like they promote being passionate and they disapprove of being cruel or stuff like that. There's one where you have to be like cruel and they disapprove of other things. It's more nuanced than just like be good or evil or whatever. That outlook, I'm sure you'll do well. Yeah, one rank in the disposition. Reputation. These reputations represent how people perceive your personality throughout the world. Even seemingly nasty reputations would be favored by some people, but benign reputations often bring out the worst in certain people. No disposition is inherently good or bad for Pillars of Eternity, but if your main character is a priest or paladin, you must be careful not to be misalign their dispositions with whether is favored by their deity or an order. For the main character only, the dispositions will modify the effects of Holy Radiance and Faith.
Something else you need? Looks like we're settled for the night.
Show you. I'm not going to talk for absolutely everything. I'll probably ask a question here or there of the NPCs, just get some more context. Stuff that I feel I would like to know. Excuse me. So there's a hunting bow. What is the current bow that I have? I currently have heavy armor. Alright. And a hunting bow. Gotcha.
Something else you need?
Show me what we got. Whoops, that's 75. Whew. It's like all my money right there. Don't need much else though, and I can't wear hats as my character. Can't even afford that. Ooh, that freaked me out, the music. I thought it was like getting a call or something. I want details. So that's slash. I mean, slash would be nice. Be nice not to have just the hunting bow, like a war bow would be nice. Don't have the money, and it's good to have a melee weapon backup. I can have 2 weapon sets at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Like so.
Hey there.
I'm going to turn down the scroll speed a little.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah?
Gotcha. We can do quick mode.
I'll have your water soon enough. Stream's not going anywhere.
Alright. Your boss told you. Get food for the sick man. What do you do? Don't get food. Water for the sick man. These people... terrible. Ugh. I can't concentrate. My fortitude's down. It's impacting me in real life. Oh no.
Let's check by those outcroppings.
Okay.
Shh.
There's a wolf.
Hmm?
Scouting mode is used for both stealth and finding hidden objects, like traps and secret containers. While scouting, your character's selection circle will start to fill with yellow. when a character is starting to detect them. Once the circle fills yellow, the character is suspicious. Will move to investigate while the circle fills red. The circle becomes fully red. Your character will be discovered. The character's ability to find hidden objects is based on their mechanic skills. Okay. And moving towards them accelerates. They got revealed. Can you charge? Knock them down. I think knockdown I have, what, twice a day? Twice per encounter.
What you need?
Look. One of your characters has been engaged in melee. Attacks of opportunity and so forth. Get on, you deer. Oh, we're going to do so much damage. Holy crap.
Sure. Hey there.
Well, we fucked them up. And yep, I have that back.
Yeah?
So this game does get hard.
This is it.
Nice. Now she's going to talk to me. Oh. Apparently they don't have dialogue for... I know I just said I wasn't going to read everything. I want to read it if they don't have voice lines. I hear you're a pretty good hunter. Don't tell Sparfell, or he'll run his mouth clear to the guided veil, trying to convince you how much better he is. Now I get to choose more specifically. Don't think this actually has much of an impact on the game, though. Just flavor text. There's a few different hunters, though. That's interesting. I like that. I saw my character when I chose that as hunting and gathering for a village. Oof. I have to choose one of these things, or this isn't your business. Which I don't like that one, because I wish there was just like another auxiliary option that wasn't like, screw you. I want to go with the bad season. I said I was going to read the stuff, but I didn't read what she said. Kaliska breathes in her surroundings. Been a long time since I've been this way. I always did like it. Lord Reddick's offer makes a girl think. Give him that. You're here to settle, like the rest of us slot? Nah, I'm just passing through. That's usually the case with the big city. Just a little ways further up the same road. Where are you heading? Probably just wander for a while. Couldn't judge you for that. Been half my life. Just watch yourself. You get too far off the beaten path. These lands are wild in more ways than one. Anyway, I'm wasting time here. Automala, give me a earful. Let's be on our way. Kaliska's eyes unevening. Her eyes search the ground at her feet. My sister moved out here some time back. Sent me a letter. She seemed worried. That's how she always is. This time, though, she asked me to come out. And that's got me a little worried. Haven't seen her in ages. Been doing guide work in Examita. But I'll do anything for her. She's a better woman than me. So I'm here. And we'll see. Otama I've worked with before. He doesn't usually drive through a route this way. But he's doing it for me. Alright, let's go back. You know, I want to hold my breath that Sparfell's getting you water. Bless me. Anytime soon. He does what he feels like, and when he feels like. We should check up on him first. Slap him around a little. Stream's just down that way. Come, let's get you water. Alright. Speaking of getting me water, let's get me water in real life. Oof. So, another difference in Pillars of Eternity 2 is the class resources. It's much more stuff per counter. Like, even spells in Pillars of Eternity 2 become per counter, as opposed to per rest. In this, it's, like, dependent on the ability itself. Whereas in Pillars of Eternity 2, besides spells have spell slots, so you only cast, like, so many first level, so many second level, etc. But stuff is like based off a universal class pool. Like the ranger has something called bond. You don't really regain it during a fight. You can regain half of it by using what's called empower, or you can empower one of your abilities to make it really strong, and you only get one empower per battle, so you have to be spending it wisely. Pillars of Eternity 2 also doesn't have health. I mean, it doesn't have endurance, the endurance mechanic. It's just health, and you regain it after a fight. So it seems kinder. In many ways it is. Resting's less important because you don't have to rest to restore spells or your health. But it still can get tough. Some of the
What a
battles are tough.
surprise. Sparfel went hunting. At least you left the water.
Yep, at least left the water skins up. Didn't give her a chance to read it. Use tab to highlight stuff in the environment. You crouch at the riverbank and dip the water skin into the cool water while Kaliska waits nearby, keeping watch. As you rise, you notice her look sharply towards the tree line. Out of the trees, emerges Sparfel, one of the guides, barely discernible in the dim moonlight. He no longer carries his bow, and there's a strangeness to his gait. His stride wobbly as he moves towards you with labored breath.
Sparfel, are you all right?
Sparfel's toe catches on a rock, and he collapses forward in a heap, the feathered shaft of an arrow planted between his shoulders like an enemy flag. Oh, that's so sad. Uh-oh.
Ambush!
No, come on. Okay. Let's... Oh, there's a hunter. Okay. You go over there, try to knock him down. So, like, see, the ability knockdown has 2 uses per fight. In Pillars of Eternity 2, I just have, like, say, 5 fighter points that I could use through all my skills. Now I'm going to go after this hunter. I'll mark him because he's a high priority. Do I want to get rid of the damage, or do I want to get rid of... As long as she's after the tank, we'll go after this. What? Stags don't automatically get carnage. They don't. Oh man, I'm not gonna lie. That sort of makes it so I like them a little bit less. No offense to the stag, because I can do it once per encounter, so it's not like, yeah, that limiting. But I mostly chose the stag because I thought that was just a given. I didn't realize that I had to activate it, so that's a bit disappointing. I might have gone with a bear or something.
Yeah?
Heck yeah, she knocked him down. Which is like one of the sad things. The Amawa that I chose, the coastal one, their main strength is that they resist like physical attacks a little bit better. Not like damage reduction, as in like they have a higher might resistance. But in this game, you really don't feel it, because you still get knocked down and pushed around way too often. In the second game, it's different, because it's like essentially they have might resistance, so like afflictions are based on different stats. So this is like stuff that would stun you, I think. No, stun may be a dexterity affliction. I forget what it is exactly, but there's like a affliction, various stages. Let's go with stunning, for example. So like you'd start with like dazed, where your character just moves a little bit slower, and that would progress to like, I forget the next step, but it would be like now your character can't move, and then the next step would be stunned. If you have resistance to affliction, it's always one lower. So the lowest one is negated. What would cause you to go to the second step immediately just causes you to go to the first step. And what would cause you to go to the third step just causes you to go to the second. So you'll never reach the highest level, and you also are just immune to people who just hit you for the lowest level. So it's actually really good in the second game. In this game, it was just like you add a number to your roll, so there's still like a chance that you won't resist the attack, and it always seems like the RNG, it never resisted anything. And this is talking about endurance and health. Here we go. And she's focusing this guy who's badly injured. How are you doing? I don't know. There we go. I can't. It's in slow-mo. I went fast. There we go.
Come on, we have to get back to camp.
Can I just move stuff into the stash? There we go. Got another hunting bow. And hide armor. I know that lowers my damage, but it also lowers my recovery speed significantly. Which is my speed of attacks. I'm more of a damage type anyway, so I don't want to get hit. I mean, the deer's still kind of cool, to be honest. But it is really disappointing that it's not just a feature of the deer. Okay, so slightly more damage reduction, but worse. Worse recovery speed. That's okay though. I feel like leather armor is the nice sweet spot where I still have some damage reduction. Corpse is cool to the touch and ripe. Oof. Well, that's not fun. You have to go back to town. Turn up for what? Well, I guess it's not town as much as it is camp. Okay. To battle. With no regrets.
Hey there. Hey there. Sure. Sure.
Yeah, she is a hunter, though. Hell yeah. I definitely want her to have nice armor. Is the burgundy better? Oh, it is. Does the scale mail better? Yes. One more damage recovery. No, damage reduction. Though it is 5% slower. I'll still rock leather. Again, sort of like my thing for the group is taking enemies out, so I want to have sort of a quickness. All around you lie the massacred remains of the other travelers, peppered with arrows and knife hilts, splayed and bug-eyed and filthy. Oh, great. Kaliska puts the back of her left hand to her mouth to ward off, as if to ward off some poisonous vapor. A handful of dark figures stands above the fallen, treading on limbs and backs and heads, jerking their axes from the bodies as if from half-split logs. One of them, towering severe with a thick beard tasseled with knots, holds a wet blade at the neck of the man you recognize as Hilda, last of your caravan left standing. Lay down your arms, trespasser. Do not forfeit this man's life for a fight you will lose. You do not have the corresponding lore. Why have you done this? Let's see. I don't know what you did, but I didn't have anything to do with it. Murderous, you'll pay for each life. You'll try to kill us either way. Why make it easy? Let's see. Honest. Your words carry no weight when I have seen the truth with my own eyes. Blood must be paid for this intrusion. So I say again, lay down your arms. Don't trust them. They mean to kill us all. We're all innocent in this, fully no less than a reason. Courage is a mask. None of you has yet slain a true warrior. Let's see. Just tell me. These other ones, I don't have the requirements. Man considers this, looking up and down. Yeah. He shoves Hayden to you. As he does so, the man rakes his blade against Hayden's torso. Damn. Hayden screams and stumbles forward, a wild gash on his clothing, beginning to bloom crimson. Man sets to his feet to engage you. That is not what I wanted. You jerk face McGee. Hayden got hurt because of me. Oh, he's a rogue. Okay. New charge on in. That's a hunter. Which we'll focus on. Get rid of the additional DPS. You. Hopefully. Oh yeah, you got knocked down. There we go. Whoops. I like how I said this game is hard.
Sure.
Kicking ass. Your enemy lies supined on the ground, unable to rise. His companions now silent among the other dead. His breath comes in a wheezing, fitful gasp. He looks not at you, but at the sky above you. Forgive us. Barely audible beneath his choked sighs. Whisper of wind stirs the air. At this, the man's eyes roll back as he closes them. Good, good. The gods are just. A queer smile crosses his face. I am ready. The wind begins to swell, whipping around the camp. Electric and volatile, upending pots and rattling tents like an angry spirit. You can feel it begin to seep beneath your skin, and when it pierces you, it feels as if though it is rending you apart from within. Seated against the wagon wheel amidst the holly maelstrom, slashed across his chest and bowel. Ottoman's body stirs. With great effort, he raises his sagging head. His eyes barely open. He looks directly at you.
Get inside! Run!
We're running. What's happening? Oh dear. Oh dear. That's not what I wanted. This is not the good. Straining against the gale. That threatens to pull you off your feet with every step. You set your hands on the warm folds of your weathered rock, and set pulling yourself up the precipice. With a last burst of energy, before your arms give out, you swing yourself onto the ledge. Head trails behind you, slowed by an injury and delayed by early hesitation. As he nears the face of the rocks, one of the fallen attackers who had been feigning death lunges at Hayden and tops him on the rocky ground. Restrained, Hayden lashes out against the fatigued assailant, but struggles to break his hold. They're close to you from a position you would have a good chance of hitting your mark. Oh no, I don't have dexterity. I fire. Your aim is true, and the jars hailed and loose. Rushing to his face, he had an chamblers up the base of the rocks. As he nears the top, however, one flare is pulling him sideways and tearing one of his hands free. I didn't have enough dexterity? That's kind of sad. But, diving onto the hard rock, he managed to catch a hold of it. Securing his other hand, you pull with waning strength, and it feels as though your arms will be jerked from their sockets. They hold just long enough for Hayden to set his feet and join you on the trembling ledge. There is a deep resonance to the swelling wind now. You feel it in the rocks beneath your feet and inside the cavity of your own chest, as though it would shake the marrow from your bones. Each new gust minutes stones before you, loosening connections, unsettling balances. As you dart beneath the archway, the entire portal begins to fall beneath its own weight.
Was that?
A Buick. Had to be.
Then we're lucky to be alive.
And we're the only ones.
We can't stay here. There could be another collapse. We're not getting out that way anyway. Let's get further inside. Can you walk?
People leveled up, I think. Oh no, it's just...
Easy does it.
hard to see. Okay.
That should be far enough. But what now?
We look for another way out. The storm has to die sometime.
Could we maybe stay here and rest a few hours? I've lost some blood. Seems quiet off to the left. Might be a place to rest there.
I hate to say this, but we can't afford to stay put. Those Glonfathens were riled about something. Could be we got company in here. Looters will be armed and ready to kill, and there's probably a lot of them. We can't be caught sleeping in their beds.
Please, I just need to lie down for a while. Then we can move as fast as you want.
Maybe you didn't hear me. We are gonna die in here if we don't get moving and get this place figured out before the looters come back. We've either got to find the exit or a damn good place to hide. This will be the end of us. No offense, but there's people out there I'd much rather die for.
Thank you. Thank you.
Someone else has been here. We should move.
They'll never know I'm here.
This is cool. it's still a good game. Like, okay. Pillars of Eternity 2 is partially so great because, like, god damn, just imagine him. Is partially so good because this game was good, and they just took this foundation, they built upon it, and they just made it really amazing. But that's Pillars of Eternity 2's shit. This game's like, it's good, but yeah. It's interesting. I'm engaged with the story. It's nice to go back. It's hard to play Kavai, my barbarian, because he's like higher level and later in the game, and I forgot what's going on. But that's okay. I feel like if we rest, we'll lose her. I don't feel like we really need to rest. He's just at a -4 constitution. Oh, what? Oh, I'm super good. And she's pretty damn good. Yeah, we'll press on. He's just got a bruised rib. He'll be fine.
Look at the tiles. What are those symbols? Be quiet. Worth a look.
Oh dear. Look at all those traps. Nope.
Those symbols. Just like the tiles.
Okay. What time is it? 8:53. What is this? It's news. Okay.
What you need?
Ouch.
How can I help?
Mm-hmm.
That worked out perfectly, honestly.
What's that muck on the wall?
Sure.
What is this mark? Viscous slick of something dark and tar-like runs down the wall. Shape budges in the ooze suggests that something lies beneath it, but you can't tell what. He rinsed the ooze away, revealing an intricate relief of a man's face. Sunburst surrounding it has chipped away in places, but the details of its head, from the tight curls in his hair, the ridges of his pointed ears, still showcase remarkable craftsmanship. One eye socket is empty. A gem fills the other.
Stay quiet.
They'll never know I'm here.
Okay. Now I'm just focused on what's going on. If I get quiet. Can we disarm traps? Look at him go. Damn. Did you see that?
Shh.
Holy crap. That was like Minesweeper right there. They were all traps. That is crazy. That's a hell of a way to teach people about traps. But we got them. So.
Shh.
Oh, hell yeah. Let's take all of this. Let's see, so the crossbow probably has like high penetration. Penetration. But high damage. The warbow is faster. Excuse me, the hunting bow.
Wait. Do you hear that?
No, I do not. See it though. Oh, I do apologize for the unceremonious end. But I randomly got tired. We'll fight this thing and we'll call it. We'll call it. We're gonna call it. Call it. Oh dear. Distract.
Hmm?
Hey there.
Very easy. How much health does my deer have? Oh, my deer just has endurance. It doesn't have.
Hey there.
Be quiet.
Which is nice, honestly. I don't dislike the health and endurance mechanics. Though
Sure.
it is kind of nice in the second game not to have to worry about them. I do kind of find it sad that resting was made less important in the sequel, but on the other hand, it's like, whatever. Oops. Alright, we broke it. Yeah, it's not ideal, but it is what it is. And with that, let's call it here. How do I even remember what the heck my outro was? But I think it's thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this bit of the Dragon's Treasure. If you liked it, pretend a like is a mic and drop it. And something Stay beautiful. There we go. Hey, it took me a second, but I remembered. You guys are awesome.